Let's make sure all of that worked.
Looks like we're live.
Okay, nice. Hey, everybody. I am not Ben Moore, which is why this is not going as smoothly as usual, but this is the May Q&A for Easy Allies. I am Brandon Jones. I'm joined by Daniel Bloodworth, Kyle Bossman, Michael Damiani, and soon Brad Ellis will join us to answer questions from our lovely patrons at the $20 and above tier on patreon.com/easyallies.
Should we stall for a bit to let more people join in?
Sure.
How you doing, Jones?
I'm all about stalling. I'm doing great. I just, for some reason, there's a lot of pressure with specifically the live aspect of multiple people. It's like if I have my own stream, I'll goof it, whatever. It's all on me. But if it's like if you're managing other people, then your mistakes are making them look bad, and it just adds the pressure.
Is that like an elf on a shelf next to RDD2?
That is a Pinocchio puppet. Do you want to break him out?
Yeah. I mean, you're like adding stuff to the garage since the last time I've seen it.
The studio, but yeah, look at this weirdo.
Yeah, that is discomforting.
The head just slowly like looks over, like, hello, Kyle.
Like Jonesy like knows when you're lying.
Yeah, totally. Always watching, always watching.
I smell a lie.
I like Pinocchio. Yeah, Brad Ellis.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
No, it's all good. I messed up getting started.
So, Brad, strangest pair of underwear is the question we're on.
Stop.
What's the strangest pair we have?
Yeah.
I don't think I have any strange pairs, Kyle.
Oh, okay.
I have Zelda ones.
Nice.
We only have so much time, Kyle.
Okay, all right. Time to move on, I guess.
Really excellent start, though. You should
Good
host
question.
This, to be honest. Why am I hosting this? Our first question is from Robert Lee. Hi, all. If a VR game existed where you could play out or change any scene in a movie or TV show, and as any character that exists, what scene would you pick and who would you play as? For example, I'd play as Deadshot at the end of season 1 of Game of Thrones before a certain character dies to snipe Joffrey and his guards. Wow, so you can really go nuts with this.
Is this an actor question, or this is like a you want to be that person?
I like a video game question. This is like okay. For example, I would fly in the cockpit of Luke's X-Wing during the end of Star Wars. Yeah,
there's a game for that, dude.
There's that whole. Yeah, but like, I mean, first of all, VR and like no bells, whistles, no achievements, no pickups, anything. Like literally just sim it. Like I just want to actually do the thing one shot. As it appears, like the actual audio from the film, like as it appears.
Wait, have you played Rogue Leader on GameCube?
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Again, there's like you got to destroy those towers. It's like don't get obligations. Literally have it be a train ride. Like it just does exactly what he does from the movie. I'm just watching it from that perspective.
Sure.
Jurassic Park, Fire Nedry.
Sure. You're just yelling, "Get out!" Yelling at him.
Get out!
Fire Nedry. Whole movie changes.
Yeah, that'd be a great weekend.
I would play as Obi-Wan in The Phantom Menace and tell Qui-Gon not to pick up that boy, leave him be, and not deal with pod racing shenanigans.
But Brad, he would become even worse on his own, dude.
Anakin? No.
Yes.
He would just be building dumb robots.
No, he had the Force. He was still attuned.
Dude, he didn't even know what it was, man. He wouldn't be doing anything.
I guess they wouldn't teach him the dark, like he wouldn't learn how to like choke people and stuff.
Yeah, dude, Wada would have sent him off to like another slave planet or something. He'd just be mining rocks for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I think Palpatine would have gotten involved in some way.
Maybe.
I think he would have lit a fire under Anakin, no matter what. But
I don't even know if he knew who Anakin was at the time.
No, I love it. I love how we all are going to have really boring VR experiences just because we're going to make things fine. We're going to like remove conflict. That's a fun video game. Just removing conflict from any, the way it should have ended, basically.
I mean, Jurassic Park could be sweet if you weren't about to get eaten. So.
Yeah. But it was probably that. I think the inevitability of Jurassic Park's the thing is that like something was going to go wrong at some point. You
can't have a movie about a cool theme park. That's just awesome.
Yeah. We relied too much on human, Not enough automation. I know that now. Damiani, VR?
Sorry. So I have two things that threw me for a loop here. One, you're asking the questions. I don't know where you got this question from. So,
this was a thank you for doing your homework. This was a bonus. This person sent it in late.
I was preparing for the first question. And I was like, what was this?
So actually, homework. Damiani's keeping an eye on me.
Well, I keep the current question open. So I was trying to guess. I didn't hear the question because I was thrown for a loop, and I was trying to guess what the question was. And I thought the question was if you could redo something in a scene to prevent something from happening. But then you mentioned VR, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So what is it again? Sorry.
If you could just VR any moment from any piece of media, but like for some reason we all picked ones that you would change the outcome.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So I was like, I had a fun one, but I'm just gonna go with the fun one to not waste time. So I'm ignoring the VR part. I don't care if I'm in the VR part. I would be Clark Kent, Superman, in Man of Steel. I would go save Kevin Costner in the tornado part, put him back with the crowd, and then I would be Superman doing the stop. Don't do this. You're gonna make a really bad scene and become a meme. Don't do it.
Okay. I forgot about that meme.
So it's like don't do it, Kevin Costner. Don't ruin your career.
His career's fine, dude.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
You ever seen The Draft?
Yes, I did.
Did you actually watch it?
That's the football one where he pulls off the miracle. It's all bullshit because he pulls off all these trades at the end. Yeah, that's not real.
Damiani, I haven't seen that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I've seen it.
More a sports guy.
But yeah, Damiani's more of a sports guy. I'm thinking Beauty and the Beast, the ballroom scene, and what I want to be able to do is like with your like Oculus controllers is like let go of the Beast's hands and like in a first person perspective watch his emotion change as you say like I don't want to do this.
No.
Just like disengaging.
No, Kyle, the screen will just be like, please re-engage. It's like pause.
And then you can grab his hands again and dance for a little longer, but then you're like, I can't do this.
So you talk automatically. There's no speech options or anything. It just
Jones, I want speech options. Bill, wait, and you're like, fine.
Oh boy! All right, starting with the actual questions, so we can sync in with Damiani on the Patreon page. Our first is from Alexander Zirianov. What is your dream E3 2019 announcement for services and features? I personally would like to see an identical to Xbox Games Pass service from Sony and Nintendo because for the past few months, I was exploring Xbox Game Pass library, and after playing so many great games for the price of one title, it's really hard for me to justify buying games individually. I haven't even touched my PS4 and Switch this year, and I wish it to be otherwise. Dream announcements for services and features.
I mean, mine's going to sound boring, but I mean, freaking port over the virtual console.
Yeah.
Any kind of backwards compatibility. Yeah. I always wanted across the board.
Yeah.
Good idea. Can
we, Nintendo should finally announce that rumored achievements update for the Switch.
Yeah, that's fine.
Speaking of which, if you can't just wait for that, you should go check out, Achieve It Yourself on our YouTube channel right now. First episode up for patrons.
Plug it.
Or for everyone else, other episodes.
But it's actually kind of a funny thing. Our show just becomes outdated before half the episodes there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to get into that, but didn't they say there'll be an update that gamers will love or something like that?
Enthusiasts will be happy with.
Yes.
And I wonder if Tetris 99 was actually it. Yeah.
It worked for me.
There you go. See? Anyone else?
Any other features?
This is a weird feature. An idea of being able to pack up your PS4 or your Xbox One for transfer before getting the new console. So basically the way it kind of works now is you need both consoles in your living room.
Oh yeah.
But I want to trade in my console and use that money for my next console. So basically I want this system of packing it all up into the cloud. And then once I get that new console, unloading it all back in. Yeah. And I know that's a year away, but it's what came to mind.
It's just automatically have that option on there, at all times, like a computer backup, Kyle. It's just your whole system is backed up to the cloud, and it's you want to transfer? It's ready to go. It's ready to go.
In a way, with the digital, I mean, in a way, it kind of already is, right? The only thing that's not on there is just whatever local data's cached to your hard drive.
Yeah, so I guess you would just re-download all games that are licensed.
You're gonna have to re-download everything anyways.
Yeah. You know what? I'm trading my PS4 now.
Do it. You're
That's
not going
a-
to play any more video games.
It's such a pain in the ass to do them all individually, though. It just needs an all-in-one button. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Thomas, good day there, gentlemen. We can all agree there are many films we've grown deeply attached once they cater to your core beliefs. However, this question aims to explore which films have infuriated your sensibilities to claim the dubious honor as your official worst film you've ever experienced.
Ooh.
So the question being, which films are you comfortable in claiming as the most sinister few hours you've ever experienced? Bonus points granted if a fellow ally is capable to take a few picks and make adjustments to convince them to give the film a second viewing. Love and respect, and best of luck for the anticipated craziness of E3. I will go first. The Spirit. The Spirit, I've never seen. I was like angry at The Spirit. I wanted The Spirit to be over so bad when I saw it. The Spirit's very bad. Anybody know what The Spirit is? Do you remember?
No.
The
Is that
The Spirit followed Sin City. It was like they were like,
is
oh,
that like
Sin
a
City,
shadowy it's
let's
like
do
a
The Spirit. And
noir,
it's a guy
like-
in a black suit with a red tie.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson played a villain called the Octopus.
Yeah.
And it just
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like it's one of the few movies I've ever seen that just never settles. It's not rooted in anything. It's just every scene is just absurd and obnoxious, and I'm just like, wow, I don't care about one character, one scene, one plot, anything. Like, please end movie.
The Dragon Ball live action movie was really bad.
Oh, excellent pick.
Really, really bad.
Good question.
Fastest for me, I've fallen asleep on in a plane is the Entourage movie, which takes place after the season finale of Entourage. And all I remember is Turtle. What's the handsome boy's name?
I don't know.
I don't watch it.
I don't watch the show. We need
Okay.
Hubert for this.
Yeah, it might be Vinny, but Vinny might be the dad. Anyway, Turtle's like, Vinny, you got married and divorced in 3 days, and then they're on a yacht. You know what I mean? And I'm just like. Just like it was almost immediate. I can't complain because it put me to sleep, but like there's no way I'll ever return to that movie.
I guess the thing that comes to mind the easiest is Maleficent, which I know there are fans of.
Ooh.
Oh,
But to me, it's just like the ultimate of like.
I appreciate the deep live action Disney cut.
Like adult cynicism against fairy tales. You know, it's just like. And the whole thing, it's like it's not another perspective or anything. It's just this is a completely different story. It was like the characters just have similar names. The fairies or whatever are like super stupid, like trying to raise her, and like she should have been dead the way they acted, pretty much.
Wait, does she try to poison Snow White?
No, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Yes.
Yeah, Kyle.
But the princess is like out in the woods with these fairies, and like she actually befriends Maleficent. There's just all kinds of weird stuff. But it's like I just felt like she was and like they don't actually have her turn into a dragon. There's something else that happens with the dragon.
That's
I don't
in the
remember
sequel.
some of the details. But yeah, it's just weird. It's a weirdo thing because I think Maleficent is a pretty cool villain, and in this it's just like feel sorry for her. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, no pity for her. She's great. She's pure evil.
Yeah, she doesn't need it.
I can't think of like the worst one. Like nothing's jumping out. I'm pretty good when it comes to movies. I mean, there's something in my head that I definitely remember. I wanted to leave the film, but I don't remember what the film was because it was so long ago. But the most recent film that I can think of that I was like, this was not a good film. I was not happy. I went to go see it. Was The Predator. I was just not happy with that film. It was like we were so hyped up for it, and I saw it and I was like, they need to stop.
I'm surprised you're so hyped for that movie, dude.
Well, I thought I was like, okay, they've gotten the last few wrong. It's written by Shane Black, who did Lethal Weapon. I was like, okay, like I like the Lethal Weapon films. Like I actually like the characters and stuff in them, and I was like, maybe this will be good, and it was not good. Like it was like the first 20 minutes, like okay, we're bad. We're like I knew I was in for a bad ride. I was like, this is not good.
Do you think Disney is going to make Aliens and Predators movies that are good?
They probably will try at some point. I don't know if they'll be good though.
I think they're going to be good, Damiani.
I don't know.
Well, they're going to be Star Wars good.
So
They're solo quality.
Yeah, they're going to be solo quality.
I've always thought, Kyle, the only way to make another good Alien film, especially since like Ridley Scott's attempts have just not been very good either. Oh yeah, by the way, Alien Covenant was trash too, but I did not like that.
Must be said.
Get James Cameron back to do an Alien 3, a real Alien 3 that ignores like everything after Aliens and continues those characters. But after seeing like the Dark Fate trailer, I'm like,
yeah, you don't want Cameron anymore.
Like Cameron needs to direct it, and he's not going to direct. No, you want Cameron, but he needs to be all in. And
he's
you're
an
not
ideas man.
You're not going to get that. You're not going to get that from him. He's too like.
Does Terminator look bad already?
The teaser trailer looks like a remake of Terminator 3. This is my friend put it to me. It was like, that's exactly right. It looks just like Terminator 3 done again, and I was like, no. Needs to go back to its horror roots. I agree with that. Like Terminator 1.
Oof. Talking about Terminator and Disney movies. All right. Gotta check it off. Mikhail Aniel, hello, EC Allies. I have all the main Final Fantasy games except 11 and 14, but on different consoles. I'd like to have all the games on the same console, like PS5, Switch 2, or Xbox 2. Do you think that will happen? Love and respect. I wonder if iOS is the only thing that's going to pull that off.
No.
Yeah, I don't think
iOS will pull that
off. Got a
off.
lot of them.
Not all.
On there.
They announced the 11 thing for mobile phones, and then it still hasn't happened. It's been like 5 years. So,
Yeah.
But I bet iOS has more than anything.
Than any one console.
Yeah.
Maybe like Wii U.
I bet
You have all the classics, or
by the end of all of this, maybe Switch will have PS3 you can play. They have all Final Fantasy 1 through 6 is available on PlayStation 3 through PS1 classics or PS1
The anthologies. Yeah.
and the anthologies and all that. Then you have Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 were also digital.
On that.
10 came out on that in 10.2. 11 did not come out on that, but you can't play 11 on consoles anymore anyway. You have to get a PC for that, unfortunately, at this point. 12 is now no
PS3.
Backwards compatible. PS3 you can play it on. If you have the fatty one.
I played 12 on my PS3.
13, all the 13 games, and 14 was, but it's discontinued. It no longer works on PS3. So aside from 11, 14, and 15, PS3 can play all of them if you have the original launch PS3.
Fair point. I don't think though that there's going to be like a huge anthology next gen. I feel like the forgotten games, we'll say 1 through 5, will stay forgotten.
Those aren't forgotten, Kyle.
Yeah, four is a beloved.
One's also
people.
Is one making them money right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
They did a ton of re-releases of it for a while. I think they don't need to re-release it again.
It did show up on NES Classic, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about iOS, Kyle. It's like $10 on iOS. Like that's definitely making the money.
Yeah.
I got you.
Where is that rumored collection? Remember that 30th anniversary anthology or whatever?
It's too good to be true.
It's maybe like $1,000 or something or whatever. Sorry, Blood, what were you saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would love a good original version of Final Fantasy V. I played through a good ways on the PlayStation 1 on PS3, but there was a weird bug to where I couldn't save the game, so I didn't get to finish it.
Oh, what?
Brutal.
But that's the thing, is like so many of them have these weird issues. I guess they just finished fixing
the sound stuff.
Sound bug on one of them, right?
Yeah, I think it was
an Xbox versions just got FF7 got fixed, yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, that would be great to have everything cleanly available, actually working the way it originally did. And then if you have bonuses on top, great. But I just want the things to work right.
Mm-hmm. It's the dream. That's myself. I mean, kind of back to the question we just had about next gen. Like that's my dream. I would love to see big initiatives like that. Specifically, it's Sony. I would love to see Sony just really like start to pump out a lot of old, great classic stuff. Not Jack says hi.
Hey.
Robert I. Allies in Metal Gear Solid 2, the Patriots were said to be concerned about the abundance of information content being generated in the digital age. Arsenal Gear was at one point, spoilers, described to be a filter for the digital content and would decide what would be brought forward with human history. You are all now arsenal gear. Name one thing of the digital age you would preserve with human history that would absolutely not be lost. And name one thing that you would make sure gets suppressed and forgotten. We obviously need to start with Kyle.
Wow, this is an evil question.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing of human history that I need to be saved. Wow. World War II. One thing that I can let go. Defy media.
Oh,
Ouch. Where are we now?
I mean, it's already been. We've lost so much.
But that means that Break is still around, right? Or
Yeah,
Break,
I guess
people still remember
Break.com is
Break.
still
People
thriving.
remember Break. Defy what media? You're like, oh, the company. Yeah, I'm with Kyle in World War II, and I would like people to completely forget about the Fire Festival, so it can happen again.
Oh,
What? No.
yeah, dude.
It'll probably happen again regardless.
Jones is like eternal
People that
sunshine
are
of
like,
the
you don't
spotless
remember that?
mind.
That was infamous. They're like, no, I don't. I mean, I looked it up on Instagram. I didn't see that. They're like, called the same thing. Fire Festival. They just do it again.
Like the dumb people just keep coming back. They erase their memories of it, and then they just keep coming.
Oof.
What is it?
It's just a very hard question. It's
You've gotten with serious ones.
huge ramifications to anything you pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Let's-
weird because this one can be really silly or like super
Oh
silly.
yeah, I'll end the mood. Let's as Arsenal gear and in the spirit of Hideo Kojima, I would make sure that the season 8 of Game of Thrones is never forgotten. So humanity can look back
Yeah.
and see how foolish it was, and never ever forget that to learn from its mistakes. And the one thing I would have it forget would probably be I would have it forget. I'd have it forget Bleach, the anime.
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
We will never have Bleach.
I love the secret cat in the bottom lower left of Damiani's frame. If you could say something, Damiani.
Where are you?
Just
over
just
there.
creeping right below the mic. Sorry.
That's the most controversial thing I've ever heard in a Q&A.
Oh my gosh.
Delete
All right.
Bleach.
deleting Bleach.
Let's reserve PT. Let's bring PT back.
Yeah.
Forget though. I have a hard time wanting anything be forgotten that's not. I don't know. Can we just wholesale get rid of spam?
Yes.
Sure.
Just spam.
Shoot it into space.
I've never seen it. I got spoiled on it. But out of respect for everyone, I will preserve Breaking Bad because I know everyone loves that show.
Ooh,
Oh.
Rewatching it.
appreciated.
And I will get rid of that Entourage movie for Kyle.
Nice.
Wipe it.
Yeah. Deleted.
Michelle Jackson. Hello, allies. I'm planning on becoming an English teacher abroad after I graduate, and in preparation, I've been trying to learn German and Japanese since I'd like to work in either country. I found that playing games I know really well in a different language helps me study. Pokemon is my go-to series. Allies, if you were going to play a game in a language other than English, what language and game would you choose? Yeah, probably Japanese. I've always wanted to know at least like just a passing, chunk of Japanese. A Spanish refresher would be fun because I certainly haven't spoken it a lot since high school. Everyone looks deep in thought.
Yeah, man. I think it's got to be like a music game. I'd be more interested in like playing like a music game. What's funny though is Parap the Rapper is English in Japan.
Yeah.
Music lyrics can be nonsense sometimes though. So like you learn Japanese from music lyrics and like you might not be saying anything, remotely sensical.
And if like anime intros is anything to go by, it's like half English phrases anyway. So I guess honestly, like Pokemon seems so appealing because I think I could like get it. You know what I mean? Like I could get the word potion and repel and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The closest I got was I played 2 and 3 and 5 in Japanese when we did the retro.
Final Fantasy.
But I just had a guide the whole time, and you know, but like after a while, I was just like, oh yeah, you know, Thunder, right? You know.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I played quite a few in Japanese, so I'd probably try to go with something else. But yeah, maybe Spanish, since I have had a little bit of Spanish background, and I could piece together a fair amount of it, and that would just probably help me get my brain back into understanding it a little bit better.
Brad, what is your Rosetta Stone of gaming?
Oh, I mean, it'd have to be Japanese for sure, but I'm trying to think of a game with a lot of dialogue, but it won't be too hard to follow.
Final Fantasy VII.
I guess, yeah, but I'd have to like memorize all the materia names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, do it.
There you go.
Do it.
I bet 9 would be fun in Japanese.
Oh, someone in Dark Knight said that they played Witcher with native language.
Oh,
Theo.
nice.
Nice. Thank
Also,
you
Metro allows you to do that too, play with the Russian. And he was already talking about playing Plague Tale in French.
That makes sense, yeah.
Mike Hook 1, good afternoon, allies. You have always been a great source of positivity for me. Which outlets do you go to for positivity or strength? Just kids entertainment, man. Star versus the Forces of Evil, Steven Universe. Yeah. Always feels good to watch. Even just like Young Justice or something, you know, like
Yeah.
kid shows rule.
I took outlets as literally. I was like, what other groups, websites bring me positivity? And I was like, don't know they bring me positivity necessarily. But yeah, if we're talking about like figurative outlets, yeah. There was something like, what was it, last year? I was getting really frustrated at things, and I did a rewatch of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
And that put me in such a better state of mind after watching that. And I was like, okay, I feel more at peace with things. So it wasn't worth getting so upset over.
Kyle, have you seen Avatar?
No.
Kyle.
What?
I feel like putting that much pressure on Kyle for that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll put
fair.
Kyle.
He'll hate it. Then
Yeah.
Kyle,
Really,
don't
Kyle?
want-
Like for real, Kyle. To be honest, how often have I like asked you to watch anything? Like,
Never,
that doesn't
dude.
really, between the two of us, it doesn't really come up a lot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like it. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to like Amazon Video. I'm gonna have to like buy it. How did you watch it, Damiani? How'd you do your rewatch?
So it was available on. I mean, I own it, but I thought at the time it was either on Amazon or Netflix. It was definitely on a streaming service. They just keep bouncing around and stuff.
I might just buy them and give them to you.
yeah, do you have
man.
the Blu-rays?
So the weird thing to me is that like I don't really like seek positivity. I actually like trash. I like people who are mean. Like I like watching like sports TV and sports radio. I like watching the news. And yeah, for some reason I like cruel things.
Makes sense.
So we're your outlet.
Yes.
we're the ray of sunshine in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of similarly, like, I don't go like necessarily seeking something to like make me happy or anything like that. But I'll tell you, when one of the things I always do, like kind of light up whenever I see something cool from Chris Kohler, who's now at Kotaku, used to be head of Wired's gaming section. And he has a series called Complete Inbox that I've really liked. And the dude's just always been a really happy guy, and I've always liked his work and the amount of research and stuff that he puts into his work. And we kind of, like one of those guys who I've just been familiar with and been around since back in the old days at Planet GameCube. And so, yeah, good stuff.
I don't really seek out anything like specifically to be jolly either. The only thing I'm like consuming currently that's jolly is Boruto. That's just good vibes the whole time I'm watching it.
Fair.
Varun Kachwaha. Hi, allies. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite missions in games. Shining lights, even in death, from Metal Gear Solid 5. For me, everything from the setup of the mission, with you recruiting these soldiers throughout the game, to the actual mission, to the absolutely phenomenal cutscene afterwards. It's something that sticks with me to this day as one of my favorite sections in a game ever. It actually made me even more frustrated than the actual game didn't live up to that moment in the game. It seemed to be the only true moment where the gameplay and the story had a perfect harmony. It made me wonder, can you recall your favorite standout moments from a game that you may have found mediocre overall? A moment in a game that you wished was more representative of the whole game, or maybe just a moment that sticks with you even though you thought the game overall wasn't that special. Thanks, Arun Kachwaha. Yes, the pronunciation, but I think I did it right at the end there.
So is that the one where the mission in particular, where you go back to the base and it's like dark? It's like the horror part, and you have to like kill your own soldiers because they have the plagas.
I don't remember, dude.
Mission 43?
I was going to Damiani.
Always and Forever, though, Metal Gear Solid 5 is my same one. It's
Shining lights, even in death. It would sound like the title to that, yeah.
Yeah, this is the infected soldier part.
To me, that's not the highlight mission. To me, the highlight mission is right before you come into Sahelanthropus. That huge base is like the peak of Metal Gear Solid 5 to me, and I can't believe it just goes down from there. Same thing. Metal Gear Solid 5 to me is one of like the biggest missed opportunities in games.
That's a good point. I feel like I agree with you there, Kyle. I feel like you start getting revelations after that point, and a lot of them just didn't play into. I don't know. They built up to not be that exciting, and like that was like such an intense moment for me. Like I got so freaked out sneaking on that base, especially once it became active and started chasing. It was like, oh, what do I do? It was like, such a good. I not feel that way again in the rest of the game. I feel like.
I remember Grand Pulse in Final Fantasy 13 was sweet. Just like finally the game opens up in a huge open world, then it just like goes back to being narrow for like the last half.
Yep.
I won't say specifics because of spoilers, but there was a moment like 75% through Days Gone where I was like, oh, okay, I care now. All right. You got me. Whoa. And kind of the end of Horizon Zero Dawn was the same thing where I was just like, all right, this game is super fun, but like I really don't care about any of these people. It's really hard for me to get connected with this world. And then like pow, right in the kisser right at the end. Like just like, oh, wait. Oh, it all kind of makes sense now and it all works story-wise. Anything else? Damian, did you have one?
I'm trying to think. But it actually having to be in a mediocre game, I guess. I mean, I guess it was cool. It was cool with all the Star Fox stuff and Starlink, but I mean, for me, it elevated the game a little bit higher than what it was because of that. Trying to think of like older games because I feel like there are moments like. There have been older games that like I definitely thought I played a lot of like mediocre ones, and like here and there'd be like a moment of brilliance, and maybe just like it happened so often I just kind of like forgot all of them. I don't know. I feel like maybe there's like a Sonic game where like it was like really whatever, and then all of a sudden something like crazy happened. Might have been it. Sonic games are good at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
KY79, hello allies. We're almost halfway through 2019, and so far, almost all of the big open world games have been receiving some lukewarm reception, while linear, more focused games have been flourishing, with Kingdom Hearts 3 being the best-selling game of the year so far. Personal shout out from me to RE2 at the same time. Do you guys think that this could be a sign that people are getting tired of open world games if they're not doing anything special the same way people were sick of linear shooters at the end of last gen? And do you see open world games possibly dying down going into next gen? Hell no. Spider-Man, no. Red Dead, Horizon, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, man. Like these are all getting sequels.
Yeah.
Hello.
Those are games.
Ghost Recon in November. Like Watch Dogs 3 likely going to
Assassin's
be
Creed coming.
Total Assassin's Creed coming. Like, yeah, no, I think open world. I think open world is just going to continue to gobble up. This God of War was more open world than any God of War. Like, I think more franchises, even though they are quote unquote linear within the story, are still going to explore blowing the space up.
I'm going to have blowback on this. I say that those games already pretty much were open world games, with the exception of Zelda. My thing I don't like is when developers think that because open world games tend to had sold so well, let's just make our game open world for the sake of making it open world, and we're not going to do anything unique or special about it. Or does like the game didn't really benefit from being open world as much as they really thought. So like forcing or like trying to force open world design onto a series that wasn't originally open world, and it doesn't feel like it was better for it, or at least that game that did it didn't fully realize it. I don't like that. I hope other games and other series that aren't already like that don't think that's like just the solution. I'm specifically going to call it Final Fantasy 15. I don't think that game specifically did anything well with open world. It was not fun exploring that world. I thought it was very empty and barren. Driving around was cool, but like felt like I was running out into like endless open fields of boringness. And I at the end of the day, I was like, 15 would have definitely benefited from being a bunch of large environments connected, but not seamless overworld. I think they didn't have enough direction for it.
That's what made it the road trip, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Not to me. I ended up just like auto driving, like insta warp.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I'm not even going to do the manual driving anymore. Like that happens every game. You get kind of tired of traveling. That's why fast travel exists in open world games. Like the first 1 or 2 times you travel somewhere, oh, it's cool, but you're like, I'm not really going to spend 5-10 minutes going across that again. But I'm more talking about the incentive to explore. I felt like it's a random, like here's an item on the ground you pick up. That like Breath of the Wild is like, to me, on the excellent end of we had purpose, we did things right, we actually gave you incentives to explore and want to go off in different directions. And 15 is like on the bad end of the spectrum where it's like I thought there were, but I was tricked and I caught on to that deception early, and I was like, there's
some pretty cool hidden temples and stuff, dude. Yeah, there's the one in the sewers, and then
the ones that's to get the arms though.
Yes,
they're still more of the same. Like they're the same. Like they didn't. That was just to get like your 13 royal arms or whatever. Like what you were told to do. That didn't feel optional. I thought they were actually required. I didn't realize they were optional until I got to the end. I was like, oh, I didn't have to do those. I thought it was required.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, just in terms of like the level design of the overworld and then the quest design. Like I remember there was one time in 15 where like they just sent me out to a farm and like I beat up a couple of dudes, and then I got, an item which is basically a line of text that's saying, okay, you've got these green beans or something, take them back now. Like
cockatrices, not dudes. You're fighting giant roosters, dude.
Just dudes. After all these Final Fantasy games, dudes.
And like any Final Fantasy game, like getting the airship means so much. You have to work your way up to the regalia, getting the wings.
It was a cool visual moment, Kyle. But at that point, that was the one hidden dungeon, the platforming dungeon. That was the one moment in that game where, but that was like, it felt like end game stuff. That wasn't along the journey. That was like the end, which I like that. But that took too long to get there. There's nothing in between. But flying around in general, like you realize how actually not open the world is. There's like whole parts of the map. You can't go there. You can't go there. Like this whole northwestern part, you want to go there? No, sorry. We're just showing you it. You can't go there. I was like, I hate this. I was like, try harder next time, please.
Would you prefer it loops around like an old Final Fantasy game?
No, I wish you got like do like C or like it gets misty or something. Don't like show me this like fully rendered area. Like, oh, I like there's this whole section of the map. Like we're going there at some point in the game. I can't wait to go there. And then we didn't go there, and I was so disheartened. I was like, no, why? Why would you do this to me?
Why would Noctis go there? Noctis has no business over there.
Yeah, I think like Mist is like not a good solution for that.
Mr. Ocean, no, they're just filling out their world, dude.
You don't show the whole like those games that do open worlds eventually, like even Breath of the Wild, they like made like a little like ravine and like there's something.
Yeah, that's all Breath of the Wild is. It's just a ravine around everything in an ocean.
Still, whatever. It works for me. It's like
At the
Or
same
put Mark
time, I
Brown
was
into
like,
something.
everyone here in Hyrule is trapped unless you go through the ocean. You tell me no one's going out through land or anything, different directions.
It's on an island in this game.
What?
So just a giant kingdom on an island. Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
not an island.
GTA 5 is an island. GTA 5 is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like Hawaii. Like what? That's not Los Angeles.
Back to the original question, though, which I realized we strayed really far from.
Yeah.
It is super encouraging to see linear single-player games still sell.
Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah.
We did see the comments from Amy Hennig that says it's impossible to get like a AAA original single-player IP going, and I think she's right. The ones that succeed are the ones from franchises that we already know and love. So I would love to see a new AAA single-player game, but I don't know if we'll see that happen.
I hope we do, Kyle.
Horizon 2 is
I
coming.
love them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get annoyed by the people that are like, oh, it's only 12 hours. It's not worth $60 or whatever. Like, dude, come on.
Right. If it's not open world, it's like too short. Yeah.
I mean, Sekiro's not really open world, and that did really well. But it's
I
pretty
guess
long.
it's not open world in the traditional sense you think of. But everything's
I'd have a hard
pretty
time
much
calling
connected.
it linear. I'd have a hard time calling
Sekiro's
Sekiro linear.
design
Sure.
is what
Yeah.
I wanted Final Fantasy 15's design to be. That's what I'm talking about. Like
Gross.
I could see that.
I like
You
that.
wouldn't
Like,
be able to use the car then. If it's like
I know, like that was the thing, but maybe next time they could do that if they,
Yeah, they could
don't want
do
to
that
like
next
waste
time.
so many resources in open world. But no, I definitely want single player story driven or just like single player focused games to keep going. I know it is true. They come from, as you said, Kyle, they come from a lot of established franchises, as Amy Hennig was arguing. But I think it'll be Naughty Dog. They'll probably make after Last of Us, because I don't think they're gonna go back to Uncharted. They'll probably make another game after Last of Us 2, Part 2, that is another single player, like new IP, which will be awesome.
That's exciting to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Kettering, greetings, allies. Due to your extensive press conference expertise, you have been hired to coordinate a big developers E3 press conference. However, they have one stipulation to achieve that elusive broad appeal that they are requiring you to include at least one segment with a well-known celebrity of your choosing.
Oh.
Which celebrity would you pick, and how would you utilize them? Can EZA avoid the celebrity cameo press conference train wreck? I can't. Would Bill Murray bomb at a press conference?
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be miserable there.
He'd bomb on purpose, Jones. He would
Yeah.
not be into it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of people like that just are so beloved that they could just do anything, even
You
if it
could
doesn't seem like they're
You
interested.
could use The Rock, or you could use
Like Jeff
Keanu Reeves.
Goldblum. Like Jeff Goldblum seems like he could do no wrong at a press conference.
Yeah,
This I agree with Jones.
Goldblum's great.
Got it.
Like, I think Keanu would be a little
the next
awkward.
World of Warcraft.
Who'd you say, Kyle?
match-in would
Right
be
game for
amazing.
Keanu. He'd be into it.
Keanu Reeves, yes. Let's get Keanu Reeves there. Absolutely.
Well, he
Can
has
you
to bring
imagine?
puppies.
Keanu Reeves talking about The Last of Us Part 2, Kyle. You would be in. Don't even deny it.
He's a great performer. I have a really hard time imagining him selling Last of Us Part 2.
Dude, he would talk about the emotion so much, Kyle, and you know it. The
if
character
he sheds
emotion.
a tear, I'm in.
He would. Talk about like the struggle of humanity. You'd be all about it.
Who said Keanu? Was that Damian or Blood?
It's Brad.
That's me.
Oh, that was you, Brad. Blood, you got one? Did we talk over you?
Oh, no, I mean, I was agreeing on Goldblum, but I don't know if I have one off the top of my head.
Damiani?
I mean, obviously, we're gonna get one of the MCU characters to show up. Talk about Avengers. Like,
Sure.
what don't think we're gonna obviously do Robert Downey Jr., but let's get let's get Todd Holland on there. Yes,
Nice.
yes. Talk about it.
He'll
Yeah, there
spoil
you
the
go.
whole game on accident.
That's
That's the bit.
That's the bit.
He spoiled something, yeah.
I think Paul Rudd could do it a little more naturally. I think
Yeah.
Good pick, Kyle.
I think
Yeah.
Paul Rudd, if you're picking from there, I think he would nail it. He'd make an awkward joke and we'd all laugh.
I think we got a good press conference. I want all
Yeah.
of those.
What
people.
about Ryan Reynolds?
He's so successful now.
He'd be
Yeah.
great for Borderlands. I could just picture it.
I think
Yeah.
you run the risk of him like dumping on the whole event.
Sure.
He's a risk.
Like Joe McHale or something.
Yeah.
He's got that je ne sais Joel McHale. Tim Mann, what is the weirdest dream you've ever had? Love and respect. I told you about the Count from Sesame Street nightmares as a child.
That
right?
is my favorite Joan story.
Do it once more, though. That is a funny one.
Imagine the Count from Sesame Street, no legs, just the bottom. I think it might have been a cross between the Count from Sesame Street, and the more I think about it as I get older, I think the mage from He-Man might have been a little bit of this, because he was that basically.
Yoko?
Like, yeah, he would just kind of float around, with the hands out doing spells. And so it's this idea of like a legless floating puppet character that would tickle me. And he would like invade. I'd have like a perfectly great dream going on where I'm in like Mos Eisley and I'm playing cards with like Elmo, and it's great. And like, I mean, probably not Elmo because he was around at the time, Grover. And then like out of nowhere, I would sense it coming, and he would just like kind of like port like through a wall and just fly over. And
Brandon.
You have the sense of it too, Jones. It's
there was
too
no
creepy.
voice or anything. It was just like, Dracula. Like, ugh. Bad news.
It's pretty good though. I love that.
The funny thing to me is like I can't come up with anything off the top of my head exactly, but I feel like the weirdest dreams I have, like I can't actually explain them afterwards. They make that little sense.
Yeah. I can't pinpoint a lot, but they're so dumb sometimes.
One time I dreamt of Giga Bowser before I had seen Giga Bowser.
Dude, sick.
Giga Bowser is like hidden in Melee. He's like one of the final challenges.
Did he look like him?
Yeah, it was the same scale. Obviously, I think like way different, like visually, but yeah, just a huge, scary version of Bowser.
Dude, you're a prophet.
Yeah.
You got any other?
You tapped into the live
dreams?
stream.
I got like tens of thousands, and one of them comes true.
Yeah. Oh, I know that, Kyle. Yeah. Same vein, Kyle. Anytime I know like a new Zelda's gonna be finally shown off, like I will have multiple dreams.
Wait, are you having dreams now?
Or I, like, well, actually not yet. It'll probably start happening closer to like E3.
Okay,
but like
sweats.
when they're definitively like it will be at this E3. We'll see that. I have dreams that like I'm at E3 seeing it, and like it's always funny because on all those dreams, like I remember E3 looks completely lame and small scale, but like my brain's like it's still real. You're totally at E3, don't worry. And then like they'll show off the stuff, and it's like every time I see it, it's just like I'm about to see it. Like they're showing off the map of Hyrule, and then like I wake up and I'm like, I didn't even get to see it and shit. This sucks and stuff. Like every time they're about to see it, like it just cuts off there, and I'm like, yeah, you're just mean to me, aren't you, brain?
That is a funny thing. So like they tell you if you want to wake up, do math, because basically like our brains can't make an E3. We're not smart enough to like create a whole E3 while our brains are relaxing. So it is funny that you have like in your dreamscape like small crappy versions.
Yeah, it feels like it moves from like sometimes in dreams, it's like everything is like a set. Like it doesn't literally look like a set, but it feels like there's no transitions. It just like literally moves. Like I'm looking at this scene, and you're just like I turn left, and we're here. We're like I'm entering E3, but I don't go through a door. I like turn left, and like now we're sitting at looks like cafeteria tables with like a stage up front, and there's Reggie on there. I'm like, wait, what? This is E3? Okay. Maybe it's a metaphor for E3 is really just garbage.
Yeah.
How easily our brains accept that is like some really good comedy to me. Just that idea that like this complete fallacy is presented to you almost immediately, and you're like, yeah, sure, yep. Like, well, I'm watching the press conference while on an escalator. That's what I'm going to do, right? And you're like, no, you're going to be at the desk with all the other allies. Like the plans that you've made. How quickly our brains just like let it go. Ulf himself, hello allies. I have a question regarding Final Fantasy VII Remake now that seems to be a real thing. Final Fantasy VII had a lot of silly stuff going on that, in my opinion, was excused, partly because of the time it came out, but also thanks to the old art style. Do you think that stuff like Cloud's cross-dressing, Red 13 pretending to be a sailor, and other stuff that would work in a more realistic art style, or will they be changed significantly or even removed?
They said the cross-dressing's still in the game. I believe they touched on that a while ago.
I've often wondered this about Ultros in Final Fantasy VI, because he's like a big octopus, but
he's just goofy.
The sprite just takes up a single space. Curvy. So he's like, I'm at the Opera House, and it's like, he's an octopus. How does that, So I always wondered, like, if you were to update 6, like, what would you do with this character?
They've kind of done it in their spin-off stuff, like what was it, like Record Keeper or something. They do goofy, like, interpretations of it. They go with the goofy angle of it, so... Yeah, I mean, I think they did. I think you're right, Brett. I think they said cross-dressing scene's still going to be in there. I mean, they could just go like funny, like in terms of like, just make it. His outfit is just lightning. He just looks like lightning. I think that would like be the
That would
perfect
be really the same hair.
It's just like the perfect way to do it. Like
That
because
would be
that
hilarious, dude.
like everything
would
they've
love
said
that.
about lightning and clouds. It's like lightning was supposed to be the female clouds. Like there, just do it. Just do it. If they want to do it any other way, I think they just have to get like the right team of writers to do that scene well. Just to make sure they do it right in 2019. And if especially if they're going for the comedy, they have to get the jokes right. They need to be like punching up, not down in that joke. I absolutely want to see Red 13 be pretending to be a sailor and like Advent Children looking visuals. Yes, like just make it this like, and like everyone just goes with it. He's just like walking like a sailor and stuff, and everyone just like, yeah, sure, totally believable.
I think that's the important part of the sell. This kind of comedy is super hard. Like, don't change the music. Don't be like boop 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 boop. You have to play it so straight for Red 13 as a sailor to work, but you totally can if he believes in it. If Red 13 is not being like a little goofy, if he's trying his hardest to look like a sailor, it can work.
He was like walking goofy in the original one, but he was trying to like pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's funny to think about it is that like we have it, like right now it feels like this disconnect because everything we're seeing is like trying to make the game look cool. But like if you think back to the original Final Fantasy VII, like that's all the marketing back then was about too. Like you couldn't have imagined from those commercials and those like pre-release videos and stuff for this game to get silly.
Super fair.
Yeah, we haven't seen that side of these characters yet. They're pretty,
all the moments
got,
we've seen are just really serious moments, pretty much.
Master Pants, per the Patreon live Q&A tier descriptor of asking you really embarrassing questions, who were some of your earliest human celebrity crushes? Anyone famous counts, including their fictional characters. You may decline to answer if this is too embarrassing for you. Edit, I see XWF Outlaw already has non-humans covered, LOL. What a coincidence. So get ready, because this is not the only time you will be answering this question. So the human celebrity crush is, now I can't remember her name, but Labyrinth, hello.
Jennifer
Career
Connelly?
Opportunities. Jennifer Connelly, yeah. This is all about Jennifer Connelly when I was a kid.
Nice pick, Jones.
Oh, man. Oh.
I can't think of any specifics to say about it, but I remember Punky Brewster.
You have zero specifics.
Punky.
I thought she was cool.
All right. First one came to mind is Secret World of Alex Mack.
Dude, I remember that show.
Yeah.
She like turned into liquid, right?
She had like multiple powers, but like liquid is the one I can only remember.
Yeah, it looked really cheesy. It's awesome.
It looks high tech to me, dude.
Oh, God. Dude, Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell.
Sure.
That last name is hilarious. Now that
Kapowski.
Kapow.
Kapow.
Damiani, you're gonna have to answer you have to be the first to answer the next question, but your human celebrity crush, if you're willing.
I don't know about this.
All right. You can dodge. You can dodge.
Yeah,
dodge.
One might have to be a pass. I know the next one coming up. I can have fun with the next one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, XWF Outlaw for each ally: first cartoon crush, first anime crush, first video game crush, and why.
Dang.
Starting with Damiani. All right. First video game crush.
You said you were ready.
Yeah, come on.
but then I changed my mind. Kyle.
That was 40 seconds of silence.
was that 40 seconds of silence? I want you to
seconds.
count off 40 seconds right now because I call shenanigans on that, Kyle Bossman. That is absolutely not true.
First, you got to go with your first impulse on these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I was going to say, no.
Man. All right. I don't have a video game crush. I clearly don't have an anime crush, but I think it would probably have to be like the X-Men, like seeing
Rogue
drawn like the way that she was, like actually like a normal person. Like that was so odd compared to like so many other female characters that I'd seen growing up. But yeah, gaming. I just grew up with a lot of sprites, so it's like it really wasn't until I was like into actual crushes when like video games started to look like real people.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I can't really think of like a crush, but I remember thinking like Tifa was awesome. She's just like a really rad, awesome person, super good at climbing. She could beat ass. She could just beat people with asses, dude. She's sick.
There was an ass, she beat it.
This was funny. In college, we were watching the Tiny Toons Adventures movie, and the skunk showed up, and I was like, "Oh man, I used to have a crush on this skunk." And I didn't realize until like I saw it. It was like, "Oh, whoa!" Like it didn't stick with me. But then when it's like that surge of like, "Oh, that skunk!" So.
Something about you.
There's something about that skunk, man. Don't remember her name. I really don't remember anything else about that, but I just remember that revelation of like, oh. The same thing happened with was watching Aladdin. Regular Jasmine, fine, but then we're like, red Jasmine who's like wearing the red costume.
Oh.
It's like, oh, that was the thing.
You're not prepared.
Yeah, it's like you just totally forget that ever meant anything to you until you see it again. So funny.
I just want to make sure I double check with all of the allies that we're ready to move on to the next question, because I want to make sure anyone has anything else to say that they get the chance to do it. All right, Magnus.
Wait, we're gonna let Damiani
wiggle out twice.
Wiggle out of that one.
I mean, Master Pan said, if it's too embarrassing.
Okay, all right. But my problem is Damiani had one for this, and then he thought better of it.
It's lightning.
Well, it's not a crush and stuff like that. That was thing. I was gonna change it. I was gonna change this. Like, I mean, because I never played. I didn't get into Pokemon until way later. I didn't want this to be taken the wrong way. This is like platonic. This is not like, I don't want that. Like when I first saw like Pikachu and Mew, I was just like, okay, those are the cutest things ever. Like, I don't care about Pokemon. I just want to like own one of those, and like I wish they were real and stuff. I became like really into like Pikachu and Mew, and like I didn't care anything else about Pokemon for like probably like till the mid 2000s. I was like, I don't care about Pokemon. I just like Pikachu and Mew, and everything else can just go away about Pokemon.
There's even cuter Pokemon than those two, though.
Apparently, there is. Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Magnus Rasmussen. Dear Ian and the rest of the allies. No Ian today, unfortunately. Quick question. When will the fan favorite and hidden gem of Easy Allies Productions, Fiasconauts, make a comeback? Eagerly awaiting new episodes. I don't know. It's a month by month thing. If we haven't had a meeting for the next month, it really kind of is all up in the air. That's like when we get together at the end of the month. That's the check-in to, what are we ready to do the next month?
So
after having a Patreon.
Probably.
I'd say later into June wouldn't be out of the question, but don't know for sure yet.
Fiasconauts is a funny show. It is strictly a fan favorite, right? Like it kind of eats dirt views-wise, but like people love it. The people who love Fiasconauts love it to death.
Yeah. Some of my favorite Easy Allies memories, like just alone, or some episodes we've done. Brad Grenz, a number of years ago, I was at a commercial kitchen supply shop with my sister and ended up buying a pizza screen. I didn't plan to use it for making pizza. Rather, I realized that the sturdy disc of fine mesh metal would be a great way to grill vegetables on a barbecue without having to worry about anything falling through the grate. It works amazingly well for getting a good char flavor on things like grilled onions and bell peppers, Brussels sprouts, etc. So my question is, what is the proudest you have ever been for using something in a way it was not intended to be used? I am not an engineer. I'm not like I always do like the path of least resistance to like repairing things. So I don't know if I have an answer to this.
I've done some wild stuff with BoxPeak. I've done some wild stuff with things that like are not for that. Some I can't share yet. I don't know. I just like using the stupid clips for stands. I don't know. Like, I love being arts and craftsy. I love like recycling materials and stuff like that. For a sketch that I did for UCB once, I made like a paper mache Agumon statue. Trust me, it was a funny sketch. Out of like, like bottles and sneakers and like, I don't know. It's fun to do paper mache again.
We had to do in high school for one of the science classes. We had a project where we needed to make an egg survive a fall of certain distance.
Yes, I love this one, dude.
Yeah, so
Classic.
and everyone was like bringing in their stuff, and I forgot to do it the day of. I was like, oh, whoops, this is a thing. So I was getting like my mom, or I think I was driving at the time, so I drove myself. I was going through the house. I literally just grabbed a box of Cheez-Its, took out the thing, and stuffed it with like cotton all the way to like near the top, basically, like about like halfway through or halfway the volume. Took it in there and then like cut a hole in the side to like put it in, and just like made like they're like, okay, you have a Cheez-It box with cotton in there. Dropped it down. It like came out unscathed. I was like, there you go. Here's the funny thing. I'm like not an expert on that shit, and like the whole time I was like super convinced this is so gonna work. I'm the smartest person alive. So it working was like, yeah, I know everything.
That's where Damiani gets his confidence from.
I was like, that's probably like one of the dumbest, worst ideas. Like, no, that should not have worked.
And then other kids' stuff would break too.
Yeah, they like put a lot of effort into it, and it would break, and I'm like, bye. I'm not gonna do it again.
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I feel like I should have something, but I can't.
I like being crafty. I'm just not that, I'm not a MacGyver at all. That's why I love MacGyver so much. So, I want to be MacGyver, but I'm very much not. I worked really hard on a diorama though, man. I remember being so focused on that. Like,
that was a good diorama.
That
was a really good one, dude.
Because I was convinced it was going to be terrible. So I'm like, I need to clearly put like 4 more hours into this than I should have. GIFW 52. What is your favorite E3 event in the EZA era? Meaning either 2016, 2017, or 2018, and why? Resident Evil for me. I mean, that was everything. That's the bar. Every time I think about some announcement, it's like, is this going to be another Resident Evil? Because I think that the joy of Resident Evil is that like we all got it. Like we all understood the relevance of like why that was crazy. Like it's not because we were just friends with Huber. It's not like, I think we all kind of had a dog in that race somewhat, and like sometimes like, oh, we all enjoy Shenmue because Huber's really into it, or like we'll enjoy something else because for me, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, I kind of have to glom into the other allies to like get to the same levels of excitement. But like RE, I just, man, what a home run. With this group, what a home run.
I wouldn't have known about the kitchen if it wasn't for EZA. I wouldn't have cared about what the kitchen was.
Sure.
And so that reveal is really part of the excitement too.
Yeah, I like that Ian freaks out almost more than anybody in that video. Like Ian's really the one that's most like, I can't believe what I'm looking at.
I think my favorite E3 memory is me and Kyle in line for Breath of the Wild, and before you'd play the game, they'd take you to this like isolated room where it's just really dark and decorated. And me and Kyle were just like in there freaking out. And the doors like opened up real slowly, and it's
dude, yes,
and it's like Hyrule feel with like towers and stuff. And me and Kyle were just like, whoa!
Yeah, that's
so hype.
The thing that comes to mind, and it probably just comes to mind because like we've just talked about it quite a couple of times recently already, is just again being back in that Sony booth and then asking like, hey, the God of War team wants to meet you. Like, why? And then, like finding out that, Corey didn't even know that reaction videos were a thing. And like, he just like went down the rabbit hole after somebody linked him to ours.
God, no, Damiani's favorite E3.
I mean, Kyle or Brad's description of going to see Breath of the Wild, like that whole experience that Brad just said was like, I went to it before them, and doing that was like, it was like the coolest thing because so to add some more kind of like history context, I did not get to go to E3 in 2015 2005 because when I was still in school and I didn't live in California yet. And that was the year they had in a very elaborate booth for Twilight Princess that I saw like IGN videos of. That like I was like, that is the coolest thing. It looks like a Disneyland like line, your Disney World line you go through where like it's going through like the Pirates ride where you go through like all the like the dungeon and stuff, and it's like a cool experience. And then I was like, that sucks. I just never get to go see that ever. It's a one-time thing. So when like they were building up that Breath of the Wild was going to be kind of sort of the same experience. Like we have this whole booth inside where it's kind of like you're in, you know, part of like Breath of the Wild, and like you're gonna go through like this like temple thing. I was like, whoa. So while it was like finally after waiting so long getting something like that, it was really cool. I was just like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
I got to do that. That was awesome. That was also first E3 back, like after being away. So it was like 1-2 whammy of like, yeah, this is cool.
I got another good one from last year. I don't remember exactly what the conversation was, but we were on the desk talking about Sekiro, and Kyle was like, "Yeah, nobody knew that's like what, you know, like Activision would be bringing that." And like Damiani was like, "Well, I knew."
Oh, yeah.
Damiani scoop.
And I was there, and I'm like, "Yeah, he knew." Damiani told me before the show that it would be.
This one, Kyle didn't believe this and called shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyle, any specific memories, or did you rattle one off?
I'm sorry, I'm hopping onto RE7 with you, Jones.
Oh, nice. Hop on, baby. Jump in. The water's fine. Caesar Villa, hello, allies. Different text this month, but still same topic.
Yeah, here we go.
Let me start by saying you didn't disappoint. The entire library was the correct answer for the SNES. Now, you may think we're almost done. And yeah, this month marks the end of the home consoles. But next month, we are starting with handheld, so buckle up. I think 2019 will still be the video game score year. Remember the rules. It's not a debate. We don't want to narrow it down. We want to expand. If 5 games pop into mind, don't choose. Just mention all of them. Be risky. Be wild. Now, the NES.
Oh,
What are your favorite scores from that system?
Oh,
What to expect?
whoa, begins, baby.
Silver Surfer, treat yourself.
Mega Man 2, I just said.
Oh,
hell yeah. Big Man
gosh,
2,
yeah.
Big Man 3.
Yo.
Yeah, all
Let's-
the Marios, all the Zeldas.
DuckTales.
Yeah,
Nice.
hell yeah.
Gotta have that.
Castlevania 1 soundtrack is
Oh, yeah.
so
Every
good.
Castlevania.
I mean,
Uh,
two had a good soundtrack too, dude.
Yeah, it did. That's
Yeah.
it.
Was it Marble Madness? That theme in Marble Madness was really good. And what was some other ones? I like Metroid. I'm trying to think of the non like obvious ones. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 had some good stuff in there.
Mario Kart.
You can get into some
Mario Kart
early
wasn't on
wise.
NES. You mean Dr. Mario maybe?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're right.
You can check out Battletoads. You can check out Snake Rattle and Roll.
There you go.
There's
you go.
that boat game I can't remember. Yeah, you can get some good David Wise tracks.
RP Pro Am is another rare one. It's
Bubble. Yes.
lot, but-
Bubble.
Ninja Gaiden on NES. is
Ninja
pretty good,
Gaiden.
too.
Do we say Contra already? Because Contra has
Dude,
a
Contra
freaking million good
and
songs.
Super C.
Yeah.
Kirby's Adventure, Dr. Mario.
Batman NES game.
Mm. Yes.
Kirby music's funny. I dig it while I'm playing Kirby games, but it would make me insane to listen outside of that context. Just like, it's just like it makes me anxious in a weird way.
Oh, Dragon Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you say Final Fantasy?
And yeah,
Well, Final Fantasy, Zelda, Mario, like all those, every one of those iterations. Let's check out all those soundtracks.
Check them out.
Another one that doesn't have a lot of music, but the music is pretty good, is Maniac Mansion.
Yes, I will agree with that. Hey, Jones, I see this brought up sometimes, but I can't remember it. Goonies 2.
yeah, they're catchy. It's got the Cyndi Lauper song in it, which is fun.
No joke, Yo Noid. Good track.
Does River City Ransom have good music? I'm gonna probably say yes.
Probably.
I think I'm trying to remember some of it.
I remember the Nemo Dreamland
Oh,
soundtrack. Pretty sick.
Yeah.
Who hasn't played that? Who said that?
Oh,
Was that you, Kyle?
Crystallis has a good music.
It's me who wants to go back to it, Brad. I can never get past like the second level, dude. I
Dude,
would always
let's
die.
do
hard.
it, man. Let's
Yeah.
revisit.
Didn't that game also let you like jump ahead to worlds you weren't supposed to go to? Because I remember trying to do that and I got like destroyed.
I just remember like feeding candies to monsters. Maybe it sucks. Maybe the game actually sucks.
You know, I can't remember either if it sucks now.
Little Nemo?
Yeah.
I don't think that game sucks.
Remastered?
It's hard to get a hold of it.
Okay.
Deserves a revisit.
Yeah, I think it might.
How was the Rescue Rangers music? You played that recently, Brad.
It's the theme, and it's cool.
The source material.
Yeah,
all
it's
those
source
Disney,
material.
yeah, all the Disney ones. Definitely
I mean,
have
the
great music.
DuckTales I think is better because that's just a better theme, and the Moon level. Is just
Mickey
10
Mouse
out of 10.
Capade. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
All those old like Capcom Disney games have good soundtracks.
I'm just looking through a giant list to see if there's anything I've missed.
Did we say Punch Out?
Oh, I don't think we did. That is
It's obvious,
Yeah.
but like I know I said like we'll skip the obvious ones first, but
Good energy.
always did.
Good energy.
What was no? That didn't have it. Rad Racer. I'm trying to remember if that actually had a good
I don't remember
soundtrack.
the songs
Yeah, I
on
don't
it.
remember its music. I just remember having fun playing it.
Oh, Tetris?
Yeah, of course.
What's
Upgrader?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You talking about the Smash Brothers song?
Yeah.
It's Mock Rider, and yeah, we never got it here.
No,
Whatever. Put it on the list.
I had that game.
Caesar.
We did?
Yeah, I played that game as a kid.
Wow.
It was a lot like Rad Racer, but with motorcycles.
Oh yeah. No, I'm thinking of something else. Yeah. Okay, you're right, Blood. I never played that one either, though. Dang, was it good
I mean, it's
as a kid? I mean,
I didn't really. Yeah, I played those, but like going back on them, like any of those types of racing games, they're kind of weird. Like
Hate 'em.
the controls of them are really weird.
Yeah.
Mock Rider, Common Rider.
Cool.
And like the way that you would like lose those games never kind of made sense. It's just like, oh, you're done. I'm like, what? What I do wrong?
Yeah, I mean, like the NPCs just like passing you and you passing them. It just never felt like a race. It's stupid.
Raymond Chow, Miso Super Chicken Noodle.
Is this the joke when you go to those Teppan grill places where they ask you, like the sit down grills that are like all over the place? They always ask you, do you want miso soup or chicken noodle? And it's at a Japanese restaurant. I'm just like, you should. It's like they're trying to cater to like a more like casual palate.
I'm a little confused because chicken noodle's like a meal, but it's like miso soup's like an appetizer. Like miso soup's just a little small bowl. Like I don't even use a spoon for miso soup. I just.
I mean,
Depends what I'm eating. If I'm
Yeah.
eating anything with it. If I'm eating like a turkey sandwich, I want chicken noodle soup, baby.
I'll always go miso soup. I love
Baby.
it.
Miso soup is delicious. That
Mhm.
umami.
I'll go chicken noodle.
Okay.
Okay.
Blood.
I guess I'll go miso, but I
Yeah,
mean, I'm more likely to have chicken noodle on an average day. But if I go out to a restaurant where they have miso, then I would get miso.
Yeah, it just depends where
Today
you're
is not
eating.
that day, Blood. You're getting miso. Supernova Smith, after John Wick 3, do we really need a John Wick 4?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Saw it last night, but I don't feel this is only second week, so.
But
don't
I
wanna
feel that
spoil
they shouldn't
anything.
announced it yet, man. I hate that.
So that's it. That 2 days before I went to go see it, they said there's gonna be a
Oh.
John Wick 4, and then I went to go see it. So I was like assuming something because they made the announcement, and I was like, oh, we'll have to see. Really good stuff. Top tier action. Not the biggest fan of violent films though. I generally don't like gore and like heavy violence, but just to see the choreography and the like what they do in these fights are just like consistently like holy shit, like people can do stuff like this. Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, it's funny because like some people like really get annoyed at like the gaming industry being too secretive about what their plans are, but like the movie industry is like way too open. It's so dumb how many movies we know about way too far in advance.
Like 10 years in advance.
Yeah, like there's never any surprise. And like that, it's like you go in and like, oh, okay, they've already announced the sequel, so I guess everything works out okay.
Yeah, like how long have we known about Avatar 2? Like a decade?
Like a decade.
Like a decade.
But if we knew about like 7 Avatar movies or whatever, like when the first one came out, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say John Wick 3, now that I know there's going to be a John Wick 4, there really can't be another one. I feel like they're kind of getting to the point where they've kind of done shown everything they could probably do with that franchise.
Yeah, like Dragon Ball Z, they'll have to create new people for him to kill.
Yeah, they're not going to go supernatural,
yeah,
as far as I know. So like, unless they start bringing supernatural shits, it's like, all right, like they've kind of used everything under the sun pretty much for like a weapon to kill people.
Dude,
like,
vampires.
John
Wick fighting vampires.
Yeah, where's that crossover? Who's going to approach Lionsgate for that John
Yeah.
Wick crossover?
Yep.
I'd love to see him killing some vampires.
Chumulin, hello allies, rank these movies. I'm
Easy.
excited to do this. I think this will be easy. Hot Shots, Loaded Weapon 1, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad.
Dude,
Is it?
Spaceballs
I haven't seen a lot of these in so long.
Spaceballs over Naked Gun, Damiani?
I would. I rewatched Hot Shots and I rewatched Naked Gun recently. I don't think Hot Shots has aged as well.
Does that have Charlie Sheen in it?
Yeah.
Robin Hood Men in Tights is real bad. I watched Robin Hood.
Really?
I watched Robin Hood Men in Tights with Amanda and her parents, and we didn't laugh at anything. Like we just stared at the TV the whole time. Like, whoa. There were a couple bits that I remember. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this guy was in that movie, or I guess that's kind of fun. But like, Robin Hood's brutal. Loaded Weapon 1's got to be the worst out of all of these, though. Right?
I don't even remember.
What is Loaded Weapon?
It's like Lethal
Weapons, Lethal Weapon. It's Emilio Estevez, I think, is the Mel Gibson character, and is Riggs, and I don't remember who's Murtaugh.
I don't even remember. The fact that it has a 1 by it means there's probably a sequel. Which
that was the joke, because it's the first Loaded Weapon, but Loaded Weapon 1. Okay, so Spaceballs.
Samuel L. Jackson was in it. Oh gosh, it was Emilio Estevez and Samuel L. Jackson. Wow.
Can Naked Gun be 2 at least?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, those are the top 2 for sure.
Hot Shots was pretty funny at the time. Remember Hot Shots? I
mean, I think Hot Shots is probably maybe above with the rep. Like if Loaded Weapon's the worst, and it puts Spaceballs, Naked Gun in top 2, then yeah,
Hot Shots and Robin Hood. What takes 3 basically? I love how intense.
I haven't rewatched Robin Hood Men in Tights in the last few years, but the last time I saw it, I remember still laughing at it. So I don't.
It's also the only. Well, there's 2. Robin Hood and Spaceballs is both Mel
Brooks. Yeah.
So, but all right, I'll put Robin Hood ahead of Hot Shots. It was rough though. Everyone okay with that list before we move on?
Sure, yeah.
Not a lot of them chiming in for Brad.
To me, all of those movies there's like D-tier movies, dude.
I've seen those since I was like 10, Jones. It's been a long time.
That's my least favorite kind of funny movie.
Spaceballs is the really good though. Still,
it's also really funny. The opening with the police car driving around, and everything, like funny bits.
So like that's the thing is like those movies are joke generators, and generate like movies where like the humor comes out of the characters and scenario.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like nothing will ever top Ludicrous Speed for me. Like
I think the difference is, Kyle. I just rewatched the Austin Powers trilogy, and those frustrate me so much because like they don't know what they want. Like they want to make you care, but they also don't. So like that's why I like Hot Shots over Robin Hood Men in Tights, is because Hot Shots is just completely bizarre. Like it's just ridiculous. Man, there's just some really funny bits. A bummer that Airplane isn't on here.
Oh yeah, Airplane would be number 1.
I think Airplane just completely
not even
destroys all of these.
Different class.
Yeah. Like they're trying to land at the end, and the lights go out in the airport, and they're like, "What?" And it's just this guy who's been a troll the whole movie. He's at the plug, and he's like, "Ha ha!" And he plugs it back in. Like that's really funny. No
Kyle,
one.
Have you seen Spaceballs?
I've attempted to watch Spaceballs.
I was gonna say, dude, you should try to watch it.
I can't. Man,
I really want to. You know what?
So mad.
I really want to do a sit down and like Spaceballs. Be like, I want
Alien moment is top.
I want Kyle to tell me like why this is bad. Like just look at me, dummy.
Spaceballs doesn't care about lore, man. It just cares about making jokes.
Comb the desert, dude.
Exactly.
That's, would you yell that at a comedian? Would you be in like a, would you be at the comedy store being like, "Where's the lore?" Like, why?
Jones, if there was a comedian who went on stage and for an hour and a half only made Star Wars-esque jokes, yes, I would be shouting at that man.
Noah Weinstein, pick a single adjective to describe each of the other allies. Obligatory question mark. All right, I will go first because I saw this question ahead of time, so I'm slightly prepared for this. Brad is real.
Real.
Bloodworth is focused.
Whoa.
Kyle is silly, and Damiani is sexy.
Whoa.
And I love that we used that sexy soundbite from the podcast. Kyle's like, "Oh, let's use that." And I was like, "Oh, it's probably going to be clean. It's just going to be silence and then Damiani saying sexy." But right before it, Kyle goes, sexy. Like better than I could have imagined. All right.
Jones, encouraging. Yeah. Brad, slick. Bloodworth, studious. Damiani, sexy.
Yeah, Damiani's got to be sexy.
We need to cease this.
I need to start writing down so I can think of these.
Blood is better just to go improvise it, dude. Just go off the top of your head as fast as you can.
Not how my brain works.
All right.
Oh, geez.
Your quick answer for all the allies.
Yeah, like giving good ones for like Bloodworth. I'd put meticulous for Bloodworth.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Meticulous.
That's a good word.
That is a good one.
Fun word to say.
Do you do? I feel like more appropriate than ever now. Jones, fatherly.
Ooh. Okay.
Let's see. Brad.
Real. You can say it.
Real's a good one, but I need to think of a better word. I need the thesaurus for this. Better word for supportive, essentially. Yeah. That sounds cooler too.
I'll take supportive.
Yeah,
that's cool. Support class.
And Kyle. I'll say Kyle, insightful.
Whoa. That is the last word I expected.
Dude.
We'll move on to the next one, but
Blood's got his list going.
You can check out it, Blood. Have you written them down?
Yeah, I've
okay.
got, I mean, yours is just like I have a hard time. I guess it's not really an adjective, so I don't know. But so Damiani, I've determined.
Don't say it.
Nice.
Brad, I have friendly. Kyle, I have ridiculous.
Yes.
And then Brandon, I just have leader.
Leader.
Yeah.
I definitely have like mischievous for Kyle.
Nice.
Dubious.
Dubious is an honor.
Yeah.
Dubious.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I could do Jones, caring, Bloodworth, omniscient, and Damiani. Insightful.
That's my word.
I use it. You said you were sexy.
No, we can't both be
that word.
You're dubious. Steal it.
Can you imagine if all the allies were on here? That would have.
Oh yeah.
That would have taken a while. Liz Castro, summer plans?
Yes.
Yeah, I plan to have a kid.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll.
I count easy
I'm doing
living
that.
as like my vacation.
It is our vacation, kind of.
That's not much of a vacation.
I don't really like
Workcation.
visit home too much in the summer anymore. So yeah, I think like easy living's my summer vacation.
That's why we gotta do that Easy Oz camping trip. Give you another vacation.
I don't want that would not be a vacation. That would
We
be
need
work.
Jones. Us without power would be a disaster.
No, we have batteries, man. We'll charge up those camera batteries.
No, and that needs to be like a cut down thing. Like we just film through the whole weekend.
Yeah, we're not gonna live stream it. Yeah, that'll be probably Patron exclusive. Would be fun.
Yeah, we actually just booked our tickets. I mean, it's weird because it's like I don't really treat it as vacation. I just be like working from somewhere else. But yeah, after E3, be back in Omaha.
Ooh.
I'll try to talk to the dudes there about getting a meetup together again because that went really well last year. So.
Huber's on vacation right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any trips? Any other trips? Just got back from Hawaii. That was dope.
Yeah, I went also in March. Yeah.
I can still feel it, man. Hawaii stays with
Ah,
me.
so relaxing.
I can
dude.
tell. I'll be like walking Sophie, and like a warm breeze will go by, and I'm just like,
That Hawaiian breeze, dude. Yeah.
oh.
10 out of 10.
Joey Din, I just beat Danganronpa V3, and holy shit, what a crazy game with a crazy twist. What game, in your opinion, has the craziest WTF plot twist?
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid, I would just say like any of them are just
Sure.
crazy.
Yeah,
Which
even
twist
one
in
has
Metal Gear
some
Solid
bombs
2?
at the end.
Peace Walker has like a twist that I did not like.
Honestly, dude, Call of Duty. I'm sorry, Black Ops. The first Black Ops.
Oh,
Man,
What happens? What happens in that one?
Can I spoil it?
Black Ops
Yeah,
1.
dude.
Black Ops 1? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the
This
classic,
is a good one.
the classic Call of Duty setup is you don't know where you need to go. This person does follow that person, and there was like this system, and so it was not only a twist in the story; it was a twist like. I've been so trained on Call of Duty campaigns that you got me. I didn't even think that was like an option of something you can do. But you find out that the person you've been following this whole game isn't real. They're dead. They've been dead for a long time. And like there is a part of that game that they were alive, that you did do things with them, but you encounter that because you play as another character that's playing through a mission that you just played, going to the meeting at the same point that you finished your level at. And when you look through the glass, you're not doing what you were doing when you played. And so it like introduces the whole concept of madness that like you weren't doing or saying or seeing like any of those things because that one character is kind of nuts. And so another character has to step in and stop you from doing those things. And I was like, whoa. And it was just
creative.
It was a great twist on like, naturally when I just play Call of Duty, I would just trust this person. They're like, come on with me. And I'm like, okay. And it was cool for them to be like, this Call of Duty trope, not only this character, but this trope was not actually happening. I was like, good. You can never do that again, but like you did it. Like
Spec Ops does a kind of similar thing. The one that's in like the exploded sand buildings.
I've always wanted to play that. Yeah.
But like it's like too late, Jones. Like basically knowing that there's a twist, like it has no impact now.
Yeah.
Before I think when people like it was revelatory, like I'm playing a Spec Ops game, but like now it's like I was warned and I played it recently, like in the last 4 years. It didn't hit.
That's the thing about twists is like M. Night Shyamalan was given like 3 of them and then he's done because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And so it's like the best twists are there's the new Westworld trailer that just came out is twisty. And I was rad because I didn't know what I was watching. Like I just like Twitter, someone was like, cool. And I'm like, oh, nice piece of media. Let's watch it. And I was like, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't see the title because that's like the best way to watch that trailer. Like as intended, just sitting in the theater or watching TV and just like, here, watch this.
How about them apples?
What?
What?
You know what that achievement was?
No.
The twist of Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh, nice.
Ew,
When you
that's
find-
what they named it.
Yeah, when you find out you're not playing as an assassin.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember that moment. I was legitimately like, we're not the good guys.
Wait, at
No.
the beginning of the game?
Yeah, at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just the beginning of that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones for me, I can't say because people will probably be going through it later this year when Link's Awakening comes out.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Weakest twist of all time is BioShock.
Oh, Yeah.
The Would You
Infinite was
Kindly?
pretty-
Would You
Yeah,
Kindly?
which you
No.
kind of weakest twist of all time. Was it?
Infinite was pretty interesting though. I remember during Infinite being like, oh, like I
Yeah.
wasn't like surprised, but I was like, wow, there's a lot to that. Like
Yeah,
that,
there's a lot to like.
that runs deep.
Yeah.
I guess I should have known that, but that's pretty.
No, there
complex.
was no way to know that one. That one's a little too left field.
Yay, Twist. And KOTOR, of course, the obligatory shout out. Zatvendut, bonjour. What video game specific dishes would you like me to try in real life? Love and respect. I'm backing out of this one. I don't know.
Specific dishes. I mean,
Create a power pellet. Make just a big white ball of really good tasting food.
Tofu, just rice.
Yeah.
Power pellet rice.
Behemoth meat.
It's got to glow. You got to make it glow.
Oh, the fish feast. The fish feast from I do have one because Amanda made that twice for our guild parties back when we had a World Warcraft guild. She actually made like the fish feast.
And you had parties?
It's like a chopped up. Yeah, it's our guild. You know, it's just Brent and my buddy Todd and back in the day.
Would you land up?
No. That was the thing. We would just like hang out and talk. And
Jones, did you have people?
it's
you
usually
never
like
met?
after a victory, like after we were done. No, because there were people in the guild I didn't know in real life, but everyone that was in that was in the guild that I would eventually meet in person. I had already met all of them. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
can you make a mushroom that makes you come back from the dead?
Yeah.
We've done that.
So there's a current. I'm always curious about the food in Final Fantasy games, especially 14, because like it's what you use to like buff yourself before raids. And the current food that I was using is called I think it's pronounced shakshoka. It is it's Arabic. It is a dish of eggs poached in sauce of tomatoes, chili peppers, and garlic, commonly spiced with like cumin, paprika, nutmeg, or it's a Middle Eastern dish, essentially Mediterranean, and it just like looks like some kind of like tomato like layer in a bowl with like eggs just over it, like poached eggs. It's like whoa, this looks pretty good, but I've never had it.
You can tell how big Damiani's monitor is by watching his eyes, because basically at the beginning of the sentence he's like over here, and at the end of the sentence he's like over there. It's like
What's funny is there's a lot of food-based stuff in like Earthbound and Mother 3, but it's like it's all just regular everyday food. It's like hard-boiled eggs and beef jerky and nut bread.
Yeah. 15 has a lot of stuff like that.
Isaiah Sanchez. Hi, guys. Final Fantasy VII is probably my top 3 game of all time. One of my biggest worries is the music. I love the original music by Uematsu way too much. I feel like they could screw it up like they did with the FF10 remaster. Do you think Square will mess it up or at least have Uematsu expand upon his own work? P.S. Hope you guys have everything figured out as far on the technical side of stuff for E3, and hopefully internet doesn't go down. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
thank you. Appreciate that hope.
Music for FF7.
I think he's said
Same
he was
better?
involved already.
Is he in that first trailer, that reveal trailer?
I
Is
don't
he one
know.
of the 3
I have
names?
no idea. But I think he was doing some songs.
Can you all fill me in on what happened with Final Fantasy X? I'm not familiar with this.
So they have a arranged version of the soundtrack. Essentially, a lot of the updated Final Fantasy games eventually did it. Like Final Fantasy IV, when it came out on other platforms, like the After Years, the complete collection on PSP had like arranged versions, stuff like that. So they've been doing it for a few games for a while. But 10s, they drastically change a lot of songs. Like you can switch between them at points and listen to them. And a lot of the new versions are really bad and don't sound like the original versions at all. So it's not just that like they updated them like new instruments or anything. It's just like they changed the compositions, and it's just really jarring, and it's not as good. I actually turned it back to the original version after a certain point early in the game. I was like, oh, I've had enough of this. This is not good. I would have to imagine, though, 7 remake's just going to go off like Advent Children style.
Orchestrated a lot
Like
more.
they've already updated those songs 10 years ago or over 10 years ago for that compilation of FF7. I mean, Genova was like, I can't think of a better version than Advent Children Genova. Like it better sound like that. Like the One-Winged Angel and like Advent Children pretty much did it all. It updated those songs. They sound fantastic. Just go with those iterations.
Yeah, he's confirmed to be working on it. I just checked.
Cool. Thanks, Brad.
Nice. Fingers crossed. Richard G. Flowers. Hey, allies. My earliest memory is seeing David Bowie live in 1987. It was the Glass Spider Tour in the UK, and I was 3 years old. I was hoisted up onto my dad's shoulder so that I could see, and I think a major reason I can remember it is because the stage had a titular giant spider above it, which was a glass dome with stringed lights for legs that fell either side of the stage and lit up the night. Visually, it was very striking and thus easy to remember being there, even at such a young age. What is the oldest thing you can remember? Love and respect, Richard G. Flowers. I distinctly remember sitting in my kitchen at the old house, like the house I was born, that I came to after the hospital, and asking my mom if I could eat my Flintstones vitamins, being like, can I eat these? And she was like, yes, they're out, Brandon. Stop. You don't have to ask me. But I was so confused by vitamins because I'm like, when I eat candy, she gets angry, but these taste like candy. And like, she wants me to eat these. I don't get it. And I remember being like perplexed by that. Don't know why. That's it. As far back as I can go.
Yeah, I actually had to go to the emergency room over Flintstone vitamins because I knew how to read, and so the child-proof cap just says how to do it. I understand.
Wait, is there? You can eat too many vitamins?
Yeah,
Flintstones.
Any
too much of anything. Yeah.
Cool.
But
cool,
dude.
Cool.
I guess I respect the Flintstones vitamins a little more. You know what I mean?
Right. I had blood because he survived. Clearly.
Yeah.
Kyle's adjective for blood now is cool.
Cool.
Because I could eat a bottle full of candy and have no problem, right? But it's like, oh, these are legit vitamins.
My word for blood were rebellious.
Yeah, rebellious blood.
Take no prisoners.
Was that your first memory? Is being able to read? Oh, okay.
No, the earliest thing that I sort of just vaguely remember is just like, and I don't even know what age I was for sure. Was just like having like a bath and like the sink in the kitchen.
Nice.
But
that's like 2 years old, dude.
Probably somewhere in there.
Whoa.
I remember sitting. We had a stroller when me and my brother were really young, and I was in the back seat. My brother was in the front. I remember sitting in the back and my brother in the front. We were at Disneyland, and there was fireworks going off.
I remember some hijinks from being 4 years old. Here's one. We had a tall mirror in our living room, and I thought this was extremely funny. I said, I promise I will never pick my nose again. And I turned into the mirror and I picked my nose. And it was like the humor was I got to see myself picking my nose. Like I got to see myself lying. And it cracked me up. And my parents were like, why did you just do that? Because it was like, Mom, Dad, watch. I promise I'll never pick my nose again. And then it just does it. Like, what is wrong with my child? You're awful.
Kyle, that's something I'm not looking forward to. I'm actually scared of. Is when clearly my son is very amused with himself, and I'm just and then I'm making him feel bad, because I'm like, I can't laugh.
You can't pretend to be entertained, right?
Because I want to laugh at the good stuff. I want you to know what is legitimately funny. I want to be honest with you. I love that. What are you doing, Kyle? Imagine raising Kyle Bossman.
Those poor people. Those poor humans, right?
Ibrahim Sozer. Since Sony will not be at E3, will we see any of these games at Microsoft, Nintendo, or their own conference or anything?
Okay.
So quick rapid fire. Call of Duty. Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, in a press conference? No.
Yeah, it'll be at Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. Dude.
I think it'll be. Yeah.
I'll say no.
Okay.
Wow. Any WB games? Harry Potter, Lego, DC, anything from WB?
Yeah.
In a conference?
I think so.
I think so.
I would guess yes.
So we're saying their only shot is Microsoft.
Yeah.
I don't think Nintendo will dip for a WB.
Or the kind of funny showcase.
Actually, I think
a quick run by in the Nintendo. I could see that.
Okay.
It's going to be coming to Switch, whatever it is. Destiny, probably DLC something, right? Or is it not time for that? Are we still
Destiny's all Sony? Same reason I say Call of Duty. Destiny's got exclusive Sony promotions.
Capcom game.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100% yes.
Yeah, lock that in. Microsoft. Whatever it is that's happening.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs 3, obviously, because that can be at Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what Ubisoft's got up their sleeve.
Neo.
They definitely Watch Dogs 3.
Yeah.
And Neo 2 could be at Xbox, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, that's complicated. Again, Neo 2 was announced at Sony last year.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think it's only on PS4 right now.
Oh, okay.
Because Neo 1 was also, it came to PC later.
Got it.
Okay.
Curious if Damiani's got one of these because I don't have one, even though I love it. DRD714, what's your favorite Star Trek video game?
Oh, the one on Game Boy. Hang on, is it just called Star Trek?
What?
Yeah, I think,
Wow.
There's a Game Boy Star Trek
so
game?
there's a OG Star Trek game on Game Boy where like you fly around shooting like asteroids as the Enterprise, and then you land on planets and like you fight with like a health bar. You've got like your phaser and stuff. I played a ton of that game. Yeah,
Sounds sick.
I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it was OG Star Trek on Game Boy.
There were a couple of Super Nintendo next gen games, right?
Yeah, I just never actually didn't play a lot of Star Trek games.
It looked interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember playing one on like the PC I had in high school. This was like a 286, but I don't remember what the name of it was. It was sort of like a point and click adventure, I think. Vague memories of that game.
Yeah, I wish I had more answers. GW Fox, which franchise do you feel has been poorly represented this console cycle and wish makes a strong return in the next? S, S, X.
Nice,
Always.
Jones. Great pick. Great pick.
I have to believe it's something EA cares about.
They'll do Skate before SSX, though, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's funny because I'm like not even like a big fan of this series, but I kind of feel like Ratchet and Clank has just sort of been thrown to the wayside.
Yeah.
They had that, you know, like quote unquote remake, which kind of wasn't, but that's the biggest they got.
Yeah, but it's like better than what Sly Cooper got.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's like Sly 4 was awesome too.
But isn't that the question? Like poorly represented,
So you like
rather than just play it flat out absent.
I get what you're saying. Okay. That is a different question. I like that.
That's
I like
a good
that.
point. Good
Okay.
point.
Okay.
What?
Street Fighter.
Oh, 5.
Because it's only been 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games, I should say.
Cal-
Really represented this generation.
Yeah, I'd probably say Marvel vs. Capcom would be the
Yeah.
one more.
Oh, for sure it would.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Marvel vs. Capcom. Yeah. Hopefully, it comes back with a vengeance. Now they can have X-Men in it again. Yeah, I don't got anything else.
Fair.
It's been a pretty good generation.
It's been. Andrew Burt. Hey, I saw some sentiment where somebody was like, boy, I hope next year is better than this year. And it's like, this year's been rad. I'm not hurt at all. Andrew Burt, hey, allies, coming to you with an anime question this month. As someone who's mostly turned off with the standard anime tropes, I find myself always gravitating towards the likes of Bebop, Shampoo, the original Hellsing, and Trigun for either their style, soundtrack, or both. What would you recommend to someone like me who would be interested in branching out but is turned off by overly cartoonish, humorous anime or generic J-rock soundtracks? Love and respect.
Generic J-rock. J-rock.
All right, take it away, everyone but me.
Hunter.
Isn't that like a battle manga?
Also has generic J-rock. No, I'm kidding. It does not have generic J-rock.
Brad, yes, but Hunter x Hunter exists. It plays on, it escalates all of those tropes that this person dislikes.
Cool. I'd recommend Death Note. Super
No
intense
jokes. Yeah.
show.
Definitely no jokes in there, but it does have J-rock.
For the intro, Damiani, it's an
Does it have
anime
J-Rock?
intro. The soundtrack to Death Note, its standalone soundtrack, is incredible. I'm not kidding.
Death Note's a really good anime, actually, for the most
The
part.
thing is, like, Cowboy Bebop has, like, it's like a very unique soundtrack. It is like this, the Yoko Kanno and the Seatbelts. It's like very jazz inspired. I mean, it is jazz, not inspired. It's literally jazz, and it's like not the most not anime soundtrack I've ever heard.
Yeah, I always think Cowboy Bebop is so funny because it's like someone's like, I really like Cowboy Bebop. What else is there like this? And it's like, you just saw the best one.
Yeah,
You saw the best thing. You will never see a better one than this.
There's like a moment in the beginning of Samurai Champloo where it like jokes about the time period and thinks like it's be a constant fourth wall breaking show. And I'm like, oh, whoa, this is going to be amazing. And then like after that one gag, it just never revisits that again.
Yeah, then it got kind of serious about its story and all that.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Although that soundtrack is really good too. And not also very not anime soundtrack. Who RZA did that soundtrack? Yeah, it's really good. One of them passed away recently or something. I'm still sad. And I'm trying to think. I mean, what was the other part of it? Sorry, no J-Rock, but also like turned off by overly cartoonish, humorous anime. So I mean, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get, it doesn't get like
that reference.
Yeah, it doesn't go too much into like excessive shonen in terms of like it's going to go on forever, and it gets like kind of like repetitive, predictable formula. It has a clear end, and it's very well paced, I feel, and it has really good moments in there that make you realize, am I still watching a shonen anime? This is pretty good. The humor thing's kind of hard for me. What was the one I was trying to get? Mushishi is one you should check out. It's basically a set of independent like stories with the same main character. They just encounter different situations. It's very it's a drama, but it's also it's very serious as well. It has like no humor in it, and it's very good writing and storytelling, I feel.
Yeah. Check out Berserk. Zero humor.
It's zero humor.
Zero.
Yeah. And like, I do want to say to this person, like, from your list, you've seen all the things you're going to like the most.
Yeah, like these aren't even like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Mushishi, like these aren't like in the same vein of the things you listed. It's really hard to like even Space Dandy would I think
Space Dandy is goofy.
Yeah, it's apparently really good, but it's not. It's same creator as Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, but it's not the same style at all. I feel like you have to start going into like not series, but into like individual movies and stuff. If
that's actually a good suggestion. I think that's a really good suggestion.
I think we have a good chance of getting through all of this, but this next question is absolutely brutal. This is the toughest one ahead of us.
Oh.
So let's see how quickly we can do this. Please rank the following list of SNES JRPGs from best to worst: Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Dragon Quest V, Super Mario RPG, Secret of Mana, and Earthbound.
This is easy. This is actually very easy. We know what number one is.
Do we?
Yes, it's Chrono Trigger.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. As the sixth fan, I'll give you that. Just to get
It's 6.
Yeah, then it's 6. 6 is number 2,
okay.
Jones.
Okay. Then Super Mario RPG over Dragon Quest V? I didn't play Dragon Quest V.
I haven't played
Dragon Quest V over all of that stuff. Come on.
What now?
Earthbound over all of that.
Right on.
Okay.
Over Super Mario RPG? Anybody want to fight for that?
Yeah, Super Mario RPG is a better game than
I just played through it.
It is
all of
not. It
Earthbound.
is not even. Not even
I haven't
close.
played through all of Earthbound, so I can't argue. But I just like Super Mario RPG. I like its battle mechanics, and I like how it was one of the earliest attempts to poke fun at an RPG genre.
Earthbound does all of that, and it did it.
I know. I didn't play it. I haven't played it. I can't. That's what I'm saying.
Earthbound's battles are stinky, blood, and you know it.
What? No.
Those are stinky battles.
The one thing I will say, it looks like walking across. I haven't played it, so it's probably a different experience when you play it. But visually, watching people walk around in Earthbound looks boring compared to like Super Mario RPG, where you're like getting the platform and stuff. Like it actually incorporates the cool element from Mario, like jumping on stuff.
Brad, you're the tiebreaker. Super Mario RPG
I haven't
or
played
Earthbound?
dude. I don't know.
Like I don't think it's fair though.
So now
Dude,
regard,
I'll give
you
it to Bloodworth because he's super passionate about
Oh,
Earthbound.
all
Yeah,
right.
Bloodworth's played both. I think he gets the vote. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mana or Dragon Quest V?
Dragon
I
Quest V
wish
could
I
take a
played
hike.
Dragon Quest V. I don't know.
Put it red.
So, number 1, Chrono Trigger. Number 2, Final Fantasy VI. Number 3, Earthbound. Number 4, Super Mario RPG. Number 5, Secret of Mana. Number 6, Dragon Quest V.
Yeah.
There it is.
I'm gonna guess Ben is gonna hate us for putting Mana.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
Dude, I think Mana is kind of rough, man.
I do too.
I like Mana, but I think it's kind of rough in some areas.
Let's put 5 above it
All right.
for the art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out to Yoko Taro. Would you give a shout out to Yoko Taro?
Heck yeah.
Shout out.
Shout out to Yoko Taro. Simon Wallace, hey allies, what is each of your favorite song, piece of music from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise? Love and respect to keep up the good work.
Oh God, I gotta look it up.
You know what it is, chat. City Escape.
It's the track that they use for the demo level of Sonic Unleashed. One's like that one. It's very good. Extremely.
Yeah.
I mean, this is hard though, for real.
It is hard. Also because the Genesis games and then everything after that are like extremely different styles.
You will hear that track again in Team Sonic Racing in the track that's based off of Sonic Unleashed levels.
Wow.
Well, Mania's soundtrack was really good too.
Starlight Zone, baby, is incredible from the first game. And Green Hill Zone, dude, the classic.
Yeah,
I think Green Hill Zone is a very good track.
Because it's just a great. And the thing I like about Green Hill is you could tell right away, as like a big Mario fan as a kid, this was like something different. This is totally different energy, totally different.
Yeah, it's Green Hill Zone.
You know,
it probably
is
the
best.
I played more Sonic on the Game Gear than on the Genesis. I played a lot of.
Game Gear Sonic.
I played my Game Gear
like
crazy. Had Ninja Gaiden on Game Gear. Corey Jackson, hello allies. We with Game of Thrones now over, HBO needs a new big hit fantasy series. How about Warcraft? Since it has 3 complete lore books and many great novels of content, any casting picks for some of its key characters?
Yes. Do that.
They're getting his Dark Materials, and it looks kind of good.
Well, they're going. Yeah, that comes up pretty soon, before the end of the year, probably. And those 3 books are great, but it's only 3 books, so unless they like blow that up unnecessarily, they should be done with that pretty quick. Which they might do.
They're going to.
Like,
books are huge.
Do you have a book 4? No, I can't.
Yeah.
Jones, I think they could just start with Warcraft 3 story pretty much, with like Arthas and everything.
Oh, sure. That's a lot to jump into. That's the problem with the Warcraft film is like, it's such a great setup for a story. Like it was handled so poorly. But
think about like how Lord of the Rings just kind of the movie does that like prologue thing really quickly. Like there's a lot going on there actually.
Yeah.
There's so much to Lord of the Rings, like that whole universe. They could kind of streamline like the whole thing of the orcs going to the dark portal and have like the invasion again.
Speaking of that, I feel like, unfortunately to HBO, I think Amazon's got the next big one of interest locked up with that Lord of the Rings Second Age series. Like that's going to be like that huge budget. It's probably going to like look fantastic. I think they got that on lockdown whenever that comes out.
So obviously I think like Song of Fire and Ice had like a lot of fans, but I think you kind of need some low keyness too for like a successful HBO series. Like, I think going with a big franchise like Warcraft is scary. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have that, whoa, did you see that? Wait till you read the books. You know what I mean? It's just like, I think that you can't have that with Warcraft.
Sure. It's
That
so
discovery,
intense,
that sense of discovery I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That rush of like, this is a new cool thing.
And I remember when we did the Warcraft retro, I was like, I'll let him get caught up in the lore. And like, what? It was like, somebody even linked to me. They're like, oh, they wrote a blog about it. I'm like, oh, I'll just read the blog. And like, the blog went up for 40 pages. Like, it was just, crazy deep stuff. I'd be down. Kitsune, hello, allies. Are MMOs dead?
What?
No.
Bye. Next question.
Bye? Yeah, but there's like a handful, man. I mean, like, certainly the promise of MMOs is not as strong today as it was, like, 5.
Okay, let's be real here. There might have been a lot of MMOs trying to come out in like the past, but there were always only like 2 or 3 that ever dominated at once or were like relevant.
True.
Like people just tried to get like it was EverQuest, it was Dark Age of Camelot, it was and World of Warcraft and Final Fantasy XI, and then Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, Final Fantasy 14, and it's maybe not Eva. I'm forgetting its name, right? Tara, or whatever.
Yeah.
Star Wars sadly never caught on. I wouldn't consider
I think
that
it's
one
still
of the,
going, dude.
It is, but
Star
like
Wars is doing well.
it's still going on. But like I don't think it
I would
got
say it
to
caught on like more here than Terra.
here. I'm thinking like worldwide. Yeah, I guess if you're saying here, but I feel like it's supporting what it can support. These are different types of games that they're like the original games as a service and stuff. But they also have like subscription. A lot of them have subscriptions or had subscriptions. So what do you expect? Like not a lot of people want to pay a monthly fee and stuff. And then like when you start off like free to play, that's still like a hurdle people got to get over, realizing like a free to play game can actually be really good and like well developed. So
someone in chat is screaming, "Old school RuneScape has 130."
Yeah, like even before like EverQuest stuff, like RuneScape. What was the stupid one that everyone likes to make fun of? Maple Story, right?
Story,
yeah. Maple Story. There's like they're all like and fans keep them running. Like they're not dead, but like they're never gonna be the genre.
Elder Scrolls Online is going.
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah,
right
they actually did some serious work on that. That's the thing. Like they're doing well. It's just I think it only has enough room to support what it's going to support. And they're never going to be like the big, like huge. Like they're not going to reach the levels of like AAA like games that are put out there now. And like E3, an announcement of a new MMO isn't going to excite anyone anymore. Right. I think the only MMO you can announce in this day and age that would get register on anyone's radar would be if they announce like World of Warcraft 2. Be like, like whoa, okay, World of Warcraft, that's a big deal.
World of StarCraft.
StarCraft's not an MMO though.
Exactly, bro.
That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Pokemon MMO, bro.
Yo, that's a good one too, Jones.
I think that would get a lot of backlash. People would be like, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Ew, who's doing?
I've always wanted a Pokemon MMO, but every time I talk about it, there's so many people who in the comments say, "Please don't ever do that. That's not what Pokemon is. You're going to ruin Pokemon if you do that."
Wait, Pokemon already does a bunch of weird, goofy stuff.
Yeah. That I'm with
What's the
Brad
problem?
for sure. Pokemon. The last 5 years of Pokemon has been all about. But this is not.
There's nothing to salvage anymore. Just go nuts.
That's why that Switch game is so anticipated because they've just been doing nonsense for the last ever since Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Black Desert has been.
Black Desert's still going.
Yeah,
that one's
building.
That's kind of. I think Black Desert's like dying. Most people played that to get the character creator was like insane on that, and then I think its numbers have been dwindling.
Yeah, so to me, it's like golf, right? Like golf, it will sustain itself for 100 more years. It's nothing that we ever talk about or get excited about, but it's always still running. It's always still on Sundays. It still has its audience who loves it.
Like Classic WoW was the #1 game on Twitch right now, or it was. And it's for like WoW from 2004.
Yeah.
Is that like an early beta? I thought that was. I
think it's the alpha or it is the beta.
Oh, okay,
it's closed though. It's not open.
Right. Yeah.
It was funny hearing the stories about people reporting bugs when they're actually like, that's how the game is.
That's how the game was. Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so good.
I love that. That's so good.
Oh, that is really funny. All right. Final question. Adam Mokhtar. Hello, allies. Since the 3DS is pretty much dead, what are your favorite 3DS games? Tune into the latest friend code and probably not the latest, the second latest,
second latest, 2 episodes ago.
Dynamite conversation with Ash from Game Explain about I think I loved Street Pass as a whole more than any single game I ever played for the 3DS. It was all about Street Pass for me.
I learned to love Animal Crossing on the 3DS.
Oh,
yeah, I had to.
Yeah, actually, because the Wii Animal Crossing kind of felt underwhelming to me. I thought that like I was just gonna like review Animal Crossing 3DS and then let it go, and then I had to like spend like a year or two playing that game.
Yeah.
3D Land is really good.
Dude, 3D Land is so good.
I still like 3D Land more than 3D World.
Me too, actually.
Well, 3D Land's more of a single player driven thing.
No, not about that.
Even level design, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The level design is based around that more.
Yeah, you're right, Brad.
Fair enough.
That's a good point. I liked most of the Pokemon games on 3DS. We got the 2 3D Zelda remakes, which were really good.
Link Between Worlds, 10 out of 10.
Fire Emblem's Resurgence started with it becoming like more mainstream. Started with like I think 3DS. Like it finally exploded. Yeah, Awakening helped it explode to become more of a mainstream series. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was so good. There were a lot of good Monster Hunters on there.
Shout out to the Ghost Recon game that like launched with the 3DS.
Sure.
That was very XCOM. It's very XCOM-esque, and I don't play XCOM games like that. I'm horrible. I'm terrified of playing strategy games like that, and I really, really loved it. Like I think like Rohan recommended it, and I ended up checking it with Branch or someone. And yeah, liked it a lot.
Yeah, I think that games. I think some of the XCOM guys actually worked on that.
Even though they're not my cup of tea, Etrian Odyssey games, like they all came out on there.
Some really good like low-key games like Attack of the Friday Afternoon Monsters, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball.
I knew you were going to say that. How dare
you. Rusty, dude.
Guilt Trip.
You'll never play another game like that, yeah.
I have never played another game like that.
Yeah.
Dude, Dragon Quest 8 on there, man. Dragon Quest 7. I even like Bravely Default a lot. It's got problems, but I like it.
Bravely Default.
Sure.
Loved it.
I remember loving Dream Drop Distance.
Dude, hell yeah. Dude, that was crazy on a 3DS.
Yeah, it was pretty cool on the 3DS.
Mario Kart 7 is actually really good, too.
Yeah, I think it's been a little surpassed, but yeah, it's a really good game still. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
3DS.
Thanks, 3DS.
Probably most solid Nintendo handheld library-wise.
One of the best, yeah.
One of the best.
Sorry, what do you have for Mario?
I was gonna say, well, there were the more recent ones. There was the Mario and Luigi remake, but they were just the DS games and GBA games redone. I think, and I thought there was some controversy over their sprite work or something. Like they changed the aesthetic.
I'm in on that controversy. Actually,
yeah. So like those games already existed on other platforms not too long ago and were like equally excellent. But I mean, the one that Kyle loves to bash and always gives me flack over was the Paper Mario game on that. Was like not the greatest. Yeah, didn't get a good Paper Mario game on that system, sadly.
Which sucks because they're like promoted it as one, and then they're like, "Hey, we had a better idea. We made it bad." And it's like, oh,
yeah.
I never got around to playing the Kid Icarus.
Oh, Uprising, yeah.
That game is so good. That is a good video game.
That soundtrack is amazing. I know that much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick, Lud. That is such a fun, like, unique 3DS game that I'll probably never leave it.
Also, shout out to the second Pokemon game I ever played in my whole life. Good game.
Shout out.
Fun game. Is that it?
Is that it?
That means the Allies Q&A for the month of June. That is it. Shout out to Ben Moore for helping me set up all this stuff because he is normally our host for the Q&A. We will be back at the end of June with this, assuming a very E3 heavy Q&A. But thank you to Brad Ellis, Daniel Bloodworth, Kyle Bossman, and Michael Damiani for joining me. We are EC Allies. Again, if you want to be a part of the Q&A, if you're watching this after the fact, it is $20 and above at patreon.com/easyallies. And you can watch this Q&A while it happens, and you can ask questions to us. We will answer in the Q&A. And this is fun. I always get learn fun things about the Allies that I didn't know. What's a good takeaway? Who dropped a bomb today? Somebody had a really good memory of something that I didn't. See, I forgot it now. They're going to say it again in a future.
Bloodworth eating a bunch of vitamins?
Yes.
Dude, yeah.
Rebellious.
Whenever I think about vitamins now, I'm thinking about Bloodworth.
Damiani crushing on Pikachu?
Yes. See? These are valuable. I got to write these down. And we can, if you're just tuning in now, here's what you missed.
Platonic crushing on Pikachu.
Platonic.
Yes.
Just for the, yeah.
Innocent.
I love all of you allies platonically. Okay. And I love all of you watching. Thanks so much, everybody.